Well, hello to all my friends out there. As you know, I don't do very many of these. So I'll just ask for 5 minutes of your time because this is stuff that has been weighing on my heart heavily, and I felt like I needed to share this. So just give me a few minutes. It's not a particularly warm and fuzzy conversation, but it is an important one. So bear with me. You can't have an election cycle these days without abortion being a central piece in the conversation. And what blows my mind is that abortion is even a conversation in today's day and age. We don't live in the dark ages. We live in a highly advanced and highly informed culture, and it is literally amazing to me how our culture has been lulled into such a manipulated conversation that positions the life of a baby as a policy issue, or as a conservative versus liberal issue, or a Christian versus secular issue. Abortion has nothing to do with this. It shouldn't. Abortion has nothing to do with women's rights. That is a scary manipulation of reality because half of babies that are aborted are young women. And that little woman in the world of abortion has no rights. Abortion is, and there is no way around this, the killing of a baby. Everyone knows this, regardless of where you stand. Science proves this. We can look into the tummy of a mommy and see this little being in 3D that looks and acts the same and has the same needs for care as when they are born. But after they are born, they are precious. They wear these cute little sleepers and we kiss them on the forehead and they smell so good, and every parent ever says it's the happiest day of their life. And the thought of someone in that moment burning that baby to death or injecting that baby with caustic poisons or chopping that little baby into pieces would be one of the most abhorrent thoughts we could even conjure. But somehow a few days or a few weeks earlier, the right to conduct that exact same act is not just advocated, it is characterized as a right. It is fought over. And worse, the act is often paraded and celebrated, and people who say that it is wrong are themselves vilified. If anyone from another planet just showed up from the outside and just observed the facts, the conversation, the science, their minds would be blown. Why are our minds not blown? That 100% of people would not hate the suggestion of abortion. This is not a view that I hold because I am or am not a Christian, because I am or am not a conservative. This is not a religious issue or a policy issue or a red versus blue issue. This is a humanity issue. Or it should be. What is under the round skin of a mommy's belly is a baby and a life, and everyone knows that. This should be the largest issue in our election. It should. If Hitler, amidst his Holocaust, was running for office while advocating genocide of millions of people, we would not in our right mind say, well, there are other issues on the table too. I mean, taxes are important too, and healthcare is important too, and, the face value, social graces or lack thereof of the candidate really matters to me most. No, the genocide would have an appropriate way of simplifying the conversation. I could never vote for this policy because it isn't a policy, it isn't healthcare. Stop allowing words to be placed on top of this activity that manipulate or soften what is really happening. My strong encouragement to anyone who does not vote and stand as a rigid bulwark against abortion is do some honest research on what abortion is. Not that you don't know, but do some research on what it is. Not what in favor constituents call it, but what is actually happening. If you are truly right and justified in your position to advocate abortion, whether directly or by proxy through your vote, then nothing should scare you of what you might find. So Google some videos and Google some testimonials. There's ample and accessible material, including people who have worked in this industry as hardy advocates for years until they got called into the room to actually witness what was taking place. And they walked out and abandoned all support for abortion forever. Why? Because they got soft on an important policy issue? Because they stopped caring for women or stopped caring for healthcare? No, because those manipulated conversations lost their mask. The conversation had no more pretty cover over it. They saw with their own eyes what forever has existed at the foundation of the whole conversation, and it literally made them sick. Now, this doesn't make the troubles that surround other elements of this broken world simple. The horrors of rape, the struggles of the adoption or foster care system that are super broken, or other systemic struggles, low-income situations and like. But not one person would say that these struggles justify the killing of that baby once it is in its bassinet. So it defies logic to say that these struggles, even if they are present in the situation, which they're often not, justify the taking of that baby's life just because the baby is in a different location. If we don't protect our children, then anything else we may do or not do as a nation is trivial. These babies were made in the image of God, regardless of your political leaning, so were you. So I encourage this to weigh appropriately on you as you vote. Thanks for listening.